We are back for another edition of the Advancement Interview Series. I'm Ryan Boyd, Director of Regional Alumni Engagement at Baylor University, and we continue to highlight different offices and different people on campus that are making a difference despite the coronavirus and despite the fact that, well, frankly, we can't be on campus at this time. And I'm excited about today's interview because it directly impacts the students on campus and their success as they become alumni and further themselves as members of the Baylor community. So I'm thrilled to welcome in Caelie Terrazas, who is a former colleague of mine. She's also a career success professional, which is CSP for short. She may use that abbreviation as she talks about what she does. But Caelie, I'm so excited to have you as a part of our interview series today.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
So let's dive straight into kind of the most basic part of this, just to get people up to speed. If they're not as familiar with the Career Center at Baylor University, give us the lay of the land. How does it exist, the Career Center, and what does kind of the normal look like for someone like you as a career success professional?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the Career Center is a really great place with our university. It's relatively new. We reach all parts of campus, so it's really neat being able to touch each student's life. We do everything from working on preparing them for their roles in the future, working on their professional appearance and their professional skills, career discovery, kind of figuring out what they want to do with the degrees that they're going to have, and then coaching in finding their career path, finding that job, landing that job that's right for them, or that internship. So we work with students all throughout the university, but we have a very tailored approach. As a career success professional, it's very rewarding because we are assigned to different schools, different majors. So while overall we reach everybody, we each kind of have our little niche of students that we get to interact with on a daily basis. So it's a really, really fun place to be.
And one of the things you mentioned, at least the first thing that catches my attention, is kind of that career coaching component. And, I visualize, I think like most people would, this process of sitting together in a room and maybe doing mock interviews or resume related things. And just kind of this idea of coaching feels different now that we're in this virtual world. So, how has that evolved and how have you guys responded to that?
Well, yeah, you definitely hit the nail on the head. We've had to take everything virtual, which causes us to really miss that in-person interaction, which is, sitting one-on-one in an office with students. We do have classes as well that we put on for the students that kind of enhance their professional skills. So those have gone virtual. Thank goodness we have had quite a bit of virtual components that we've been working with, such as our job finding platform, Handshake. So we've kind of taken everything from that in person to the online base, where we're really working on enhancing our outreach, reaching out to students consistently, making sure that we know, what they're doing, where they're at in their journey, that we're here as a resource for them. And it's not going to stop just because it has to be over the phone, over a Zoom call, really however they want to connect. Every student's different. So again, back to the tailoring, we've really dove in as CSPs to customize our approach with each student and communicate in whatever way they want to interact in order to still have that same level of, work with that student on whatever they need help with, whether that be preparing for a specific interview or just getting their resume ready, or simply talking about what is the best process for me to go through when I'm trying to find a job in this current climate.
Caelie, when you've worked with these students, you and your colleagues, of course, what are some of the things now in this virtual world that you're hearing, and I think particularly from seniors, or maybe people in grad school, people that are reaching the end of their Baylor experience? Just what are some things you guys are hearing?
Yeah, well, I think that the first thing that we really heard was, whoa, I don't know what to do. I never expected that this is how my senior year would look. So I think it was a bit of a shock, and we got a lot of questions. A lot of questions were, what do I do now? Is it even worth it to apply? How should I look at this situation? And that was really good to have that communication from the students, even though they were a bit confused. We were really able to step in and help, talking about a great attitude and maybe adjusting expectations in order to still start their career very successfully, but in a way a bit different from what they thought it might be. So we've just had a lot of discussion after a second to breathe, and just kept that communication really open. And we've heard a lot from our students about what they're doing after graduation. Most colleges have about a 40% knowledge rate of what their students are doing after graduation. We have over a 90% knowledge rate. So that's something we're really proud of, but not just on our end. That means our students are talking back to us. They're telling us what's going on. They're really letting us in on every step of this journey. So it's been really great to have such an interactive situation and for students to be so responsive. And we're still overwhelmingly hearing, I got the job, which is great to hear from someone that you've been working with.
You kind of alluded to this a little bit, as you've talked through the last couple of questions. But Caelie, another thing that you guys offer that I think is really cool, despite uncertain times, is virtual career fairs. I saw there was recently a Google recruiting seminar. Speak a little bit to that as well, kind of not only offering the opportunity for students to be involved in that, but helping prepare them to be in these kind of virtual job fairs or job opportunities.
Yeah, so our students, of course, are our main focus, but within that, we get to work with parents, alumni, employers, and because of that, we get to host a lot of virtual events. And while a lot of those events are kind of mimicking some of the events that we would have had on campus in person, and we've just taken them virtual, we've actually kind of opened up a whole new realm of events. This time has really pushed us to be very, very creative. And so many employers that our students may have not gotten to have any contact with at all have actually gotten to be in contact with our students during this time. In the past, when we weren't doing things virtually, they may have had location restrictions, time restrictions. They just didn't work out with their schedule. They couldn't make it to campus. Therefore, they weren't able to connect as easily with our students. So I think now that we've gotten to connect with them virtually, we'll really take that into the future and do a great combination of, of course, getting back to our in-person and on-campus events with our students eventually as time allows, but still remembering everything that we have learned during this time of crisis of how we can be even more connected across the board.
Talking with Caelie Terrazas, who is a career success professional in the Baylor Career Center. And the next thing I wanted to dive into, and again, you've kind of alluded to this, so forgive me for being repetitive in some ways, but when you speak about the engagement that you've had with parents, alumni, and friends of Baylor, if there's someone watching this video right now, Caelie, that is an employer or works somewhere where they know there's hiring that's happening, what are some ways that they can reach out to directly impact our students?
Well, thank you for asking this question. I think it's probably one of the most exciting and important questions that we can talk about today. It's definitely not too repetitive. It's something that we really like to emphasize to our alumni. And it's pretty simple. The answer is fairly easy. It's just reach out to the Career Center. We know that many of our alumni are employers or are working for employers that have roles open and available. So make sure the Career Center knows about those roles. We really want bears working alongside bears. That's the ultimate goal. So definitely just stay in constant contact with us. And then a secondary to that I would say is a really great thing that you can do is just have your alumni status, readily out there for people to see on things such as your LinkedIn, along with your contact information. We have great students. They're eager. They're very active. They're out there looking for you too. It's not just you looking for them. They want you just as badly. So definitely just have your information available so that they can reach out and network with you.
And speaking of that as well, if there are people, Caelie, that whether it's a student that wants to be more involved, or parents that are watching right now that want to help their students be more involved, speak a little bit to that too. The easiest way for them to directly work with and take advantage of your resources.
Yeah, well, the easiest way for everyone overall is just directly on our website. It's a really great hub of all of the information, all of the resources that we have to offer. Anyone you want to connect with in our office, contact information is there. So that's just at baylor.edu/career center. Very easy to find. You can just Google Baylor Career Center as well, and it'll come up. And that site's consistently being updated with our newest information, whether you're an alumni, a parent, an employer, a student. I would say that's the best place to start. You can also stay connected on our Instagram, things like that, but really the website is going to be the all-inclusive hub of information for you to go to.
Caelie, before I let you get back to work, one fun question for you. As you've been stuck at home, are there any new hobbies, anything cool that you personally have been working on?
That I personally have been working on. Well, I'm in school and graduate school, so my semester just ended. Woo! That's kept me pretty busy, but I have picked back up on a little crocheting, so I kind of feel 40. I'm only in my 20s, but I've done that a bit, and then just, having to walk my dog a lot more than usual. So I'd say, we're getting really good at those dog walks.
Well, hey, listen, I know that the work that you're doing, and obviously the entire team in the Career Center, it's critically important for our students, and I know that our alumni and friends care about that as well. So thank you for taking some time today to talk through it, and keep up the good work as we roll into the summertime.
Oh, thanks so much for having me, Ryan.
So that's Caelie Terrazas, who is, again, a career success professional in the Baylor Career Center. We're going to continue creating these videos and sending them out as much as possible during the pandemic. We hope that everyone listening is safe and healthy, and we appreciate your support of the Baylor community. Until next time, I'm Ryan Boyd signing off on the Advancement Interview Series.